Okay, so when I was a sophomore in college, I lived with the tribe in the jungle of Ecuador for 2 weeks, and they drank spit. It's called chicha. It's potato, river water, and spit. And I drank many bowls of that. That's their like number one thing in their culture is drinking that. Like you find your wife based on how good she makes the chicha, and they find their husbands based on how good they hunt with the blowguns, with the poison tips.
I get that.
Practical, right?
This is like Ace Ventura, right? Same shit.
I would love to go film that one day. That's on the list. But I don't know, dude. Like
Wait, that was all real.
I like a
said,
clean.
right?
Yes, I like to have a clean kitchen. I like to have a clean house. But I'm not gonna lose my shit if I touch a doorknob.
What was that like the first time? Were you like puking your guts out, or you just?
Well, I'd read a book about it because a guy had stayed in. Like it's a big respect thing. So like you don't want to make a grimace. You don't want to act like it's bad. Like so as soon as so you fly over the rainforest and then you go into it like they weed whack like a football size field for the plane to land. Every week they weed whack it down. As soon as you land, it's a village of 13 huts. They come out and kind of greet the plane, and 2 little kids grab my luggage and run to one of the houses, and then I get invited to a lunch with one of the men in the village, and like they serve me a bowl of fish and a bowl of chicha, and he's looking into my eyes. That man saw my soul when I was drinking that chicha, and so I kept a straight face, and it's actually not so bad. I mean,
it's bad.
Were you expecting it?
I was expecting to drink it.
Oh,
So
you knew about this before.
Oh, yes. I'd done a little bit of research.
Why the fuck did you go there?
I'm an adventurer, man.
No, but you're in college,
Yeah.
and you're like, you know what I'm gonna do on spring break? I'm gonna go fucking drink spit.
Was it
in
through
the
school, or
forest.
you just did it?
I was on a website called volunteersouth.america.org, and like there was stay in a dog shelter in Bolivia, and I saw live with a tribe, and I was like,
Bro.
that's
You're
it.
not bullshitting, right? He's serious. You're dead serious.
Oh yeah, we ate jungle pig, we ate monkey, we ate armadillo. I tried.
Armadillo?
Yep.
Roly-polies of the animal kingdom?
Pretty
That's
good,
sad.
actually. I tried ayahuasca there.
That was my
Like
next
that.
question.
There's something I can get into. How was that? Because that all sounds disgusting. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, you had to drink spit?
This is all the same trip, 2
Yeah,
weeks? You did
yeah.
all?
Yeah, so I sat down in the hut, and this man had done ayahuasca thousands of times. He was the medicine man. So like literally, if you broke your arm, you'd come to the hut, do ayahuasca, and they believe you can drive these invisible forces into healing. And so like it doesn't matter what your illness is, you kind of do ayahuasca if the situation requires it. And so I was doing it, and there was also a mom with a sick baby doing it. The mom wasn't doing it, but the medicine man was doing it. And so he was like chanting over the baby, and he gave me almost no advice. All he told me, so they speak Quechua there, and I speak decent Spanish, and he translated through my guy that was sitting with me, Francisco, and he's like, tell the gringo not to scream out when snakes start swirling in his vision. I was like, buddy, I'm about to go through maybe the most intense 8 hours of my life, and that's the only thing.
8 hours?
Yes, I don't feel very reassured by your statements right now. And so I started seeing kind of blue dots in my vision, and if I closed my eyes, it was kind of cinematic or like almost like LSD-ish, where things are happening that aren't really on your control. But I was fine. And it was supposed to happen, you start throwing up, and then once you throw up, whew. So it wasn't kicking in, and the guy asked me if I wanted a second dose. And if it's meant to be, I'll try it again, but I did not feel comfortable with that guy, so I said, I'm okay. And I went back to the hut and went to sleep.
You slept on it?
Well, it wasn't that. It was like maybe a mild edible without the body sensation. But like if you close, you know how you can sometimes close your eyes and you have little visuals?
It was
happening?
working, but it wasn't the full kickoff.
No, I did not kick off into outer space or into the spirit realm.
Dude was creeping you out.
Did you go there for the ayahuasca? Or you were like, yo, I found this place. It's a tribe. You can live there.
I just wanted to experience it, dude. Because I've always, like I've read in, if a lot of the founding fathers' books, like they would make this observation that it was very rare for an Indian guy to go into the white culture and stay there. But if you took a white guy and put him in that culture, they stayed in there because there was something special about how people lived, like the different style of community, different things that were important. And so I've always been fascinated by more of a lifestyle where it's people banding together in the nature and having community. And it was very pleasant. Like these people have been to bigger cities. They've flown into the big cities of Ecuador, and they also got an opportunity to travel to Spain with some Spanish gentlemen that invited them over, and they hated it. The food made them sick. They didn't like the noise. There's no police in the jungle, so they can play volleyball and they can have community little work days where they work on the garden, and they also get buzzed off this chicha too. So like it's in a big kind of tub, like a canoe-ish thing, and they put a leaf across the middle of it. The bottom of it ferments, turns into alcoholic, and then the top of it is the normal chicha you just drink during the day. So these guys would get they would go door to door, like the village president would go to hut and say, hey, we're having a minga. We're having a community work day, they called it, the minga. And they'd gather in the hut, they'd drink the buzz chicha, they'd wait until it's super hot, like midday, and then they'd go out and we'd do different work. Like we'd shovel sand into a canoe, then drive it to this edge, and then lift it up a hill, and then make a sidewalk in the village with it. Or we'd, find different roots or plants and get that. So, I mean, it was a peaceful,
And
nice
they charged
life.
you? Like it was like a thing you do online?
I was...
Boom.
So here, it almost never started because when I got to Ecuador, the guy, my contact, wasn't answering the phone. And I'm like, well, what am I going to do? So I went to the tribal airport and I explained what I was trying to do. And the village I was trying to fly into, the landing strip was broken. So one woman overheard my plight and she's like, well, he can fly into my village, sleep there for the night, and then someone from the village will do a 7-hour walk to get there. So I flew into the original woman's village and I just stayed there the entire time. And it turns out the guy I was staying with, his father was my contact in the other village. So it's a small world there, I feel like,
What? You're doing this all? Yo, I was just...
He has the ability to plug. That's how he's getting all these videos done. You just know how to work connections and
I mean, the
make shit
fact that you
happen.
did that for fun is awesome to me. I don't think I've ever met anybody that went, you know what, I'm going to do things you see motherfuckers in movies do. That's some shit you see in full
As a
movies do when
teenager.
he's thinking back on his younger self. He's like an older rich man in his office. That's what you think of it. Like, he has a beard later on in the mountains. That's what damn, fool, you had an interesting life. I was in college not doing shit, just telling Paxton, like, trying to do mushrooms. This was over here in the jungle.
We all
working.
have our own little trials and journeys, though, But it's definitely important to me. Like, I think about when I'm an old man laying on the gurney in the hospital, like, I want to have lived a life where I'm like, I did it, man. I did it.